Hi, my name is Carlos Stanford. I'm pleased to give you again a warm welcome to my channel on YouTube. Fine arts, as I explained after beginning the previous presentation, refer to forms of art, taking into account use of aesthetics, ideal of beauty, and use of technique. Based on the foregoing, today I'll talk you about painting. What is painting? It can be defined as orthographical representation using binders mixed with other natural or synthetic pigments. In this art, techniques, knowledge of color theory, picture composition, and drawing are used. Its application is given on a particular surface, from a sheet to a piece of tissue, and a certain technique for getting a formal composition, textures, lines, colors, forms, and patterns, resulting in a work art, according to some aesthetical principles. In the picture at right, it's appreciated the fresco Adam's Creation by Michelangelo Buonarroti, popularly known as Michelangelo, who painted it on the ceiling of Sixtine Chapel in Vatican City. Here's a diagram which shows how painters' work was conceived at various times until today. At Greco-Roman antiquity, painter was seen as stereo decorator and even as muralist. At medieval period, when church had ultimate power, painters' work was to recreate religious scenes and to make murals on vaults and apses. At Renaissance, when science was emancipated of faith, Greco-Roman classical orders was resumed. On this period, the artist had the task of creating images of sacred church ceremonies and citizens. He also had to develop abstract geometric composition before painting. Between 16th and 19th centuries, painters recreated real and mystical scenes, and when emerging various pictorial movements like Baroque, Classicism, and Romanticism, among others, and they had to conform to them. Already in 20th century, painter was a portraitist and illustrator. He began to devote to visual arts. And painter also was based on his personal inspiration and not customers' commission. And so far, 21st century, painters' work has been linked to market demands. Painters' artists paint for money, while others harshly considered real artists. I explain this no offense to those who are watching this presentation, especially other painters. In this slide, it shows a diagram which contains the different periods, some of them with their respective movements. As someone knows, painting had its origins at prehistory with rock art, when men embodied their hunting tactics, whose evidences is found today in the case of Europe, Asia, and America. This kind of painting evolved in Paleolithic and Neolithic. Already at antiquity, painting was shaped as hieroglyphics. This was very typical in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, Rhodes, Iraq, Iran, Jordan, and Syria. In ancient Greece, painting was shaped on pottery, creating mythological scenes. Realistic connotation of painting was already more noticeable in ancient Rome, known as mosaic. And it went to Paleo-Christian period, when Roman Empire began to decline until it reaches to its end. At medieval period, painting began to be characterized by creating scenes alluding to Christianity and of course monarchy. This kind of painting was icon of Byzantine, Islamic, Romanesque, and Gothic art. At modern period, between 15th and 18th centuries, emerged first movement and was Renaissance, Baroque, Rococo, and Classicism, which recreated antiquity scenes. At 19th century, painting had already a more realistic perception and even figurative. It was key in Romanticism, Purism, arts and crafts, Impressionism, Symbolism, and Modernism, also known as Art Nouveau, that means in French New Art. Painting at its first half of the 20th century had an increasingly figurative connotation and was evident with Fauvism, Cubism, Expressionism, abstract art, Neoclassicism, Constructivism, Surrealism, and Art Deco. At the second half of the 20th century, face painting underwent several transformations through abstract expressionism, pop art, hyperrealism, minimalism, land art, and of course, neo-Dadaism. And so far, 21st century, anachronism, also known as neo-modernism, new geo movement, new pop, and transparent have been painting player tendencies. Well, what you see below are images of some of the most significant artworks in history. At top left of this slide is the image of this rock painting that is located in Castellon Caves in Spain. The image below is an unusual representation of painted figures in front in Nebenbund tomb, dating from 15th century BC. At the early medieval period, when church had ultimate power, was painted in this facade in 1123, the Alps of San Clemente de Tajul, Val de Boí in Spain. At the late medieval period, Flemish artist Roger van der Weyden painted in 1443 his masterpiece Descent, and is located in Museum of Prado in Madrid. One of Renaissance's famous artworks is Birth of Venus, painted in 1484 by Sandro Botticelli. However, the most famous work of Renaissance is La Gioconda or Mona Lisa, painted between 1503 and 1519 by Leonardo da Vinci, and is located in Museum of Louvre in Paris in France. A masterpiece of Rococo art is Swing, painted by Jean-Honoré Fragonard in 1766. One of Classicism's masterpieces is Socrates Dead, painted in 1787 by Jacques Louis David. And I continue here with more artworks, keeping with Battle of Valpinson by Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres, and painted in 1808, and is also located in Museum of Louvre in Paris. Impressionism masterpiece Impression Rising Sun was painted in 1872 by Claude Monet, and is located in Marmottan Modern Museum in Paris. In 1876, Pierre-Auguste Renoir painted his masterpiece Dancing in Moulin de la Galette, and is located in Museum of Orsay in Paris. Another symbol of Impressionism, Bedroom in Arles, was painted in 1888 by Vincent van Gogh, and is located in Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam, in Netherlands. Masterpiece of Cubism, Guernica, was painted in 1937 by Pablo Ruiz Picasso, who reflects in this work the effects caused by civil war in Spain, and of course is located in Reina Sofia Art Center National Museum in Madrid. A symbol of surrealism is dream caused by a beast bite around a granada a century before awakening, in 1944 by Salvador Dalí. And jumping to the 21st century, a master of anamorphism, Julian Bieber, reunion with Mr. Frog. As you're watching it, these words generate effects of optical illusions, believing that it's real. With that slide, I finished this first part of the presentation about painting.